Hello everyone, here we are with day 5 of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, and today's sketch is by Gloria Montross, and I am using 49 Market's new Academia collection for this layout. So as you could see from the sketch, it is supposed to consist of 3 circles, kind of going in a diagonal pattern. Now, if you know me and have been watching me for a while, you know I very rarely follow along with the sketch completely, but I will tell you that I did have good intentions this time. I had my own vision for it, but I was planning to kind of go along with the idea that she had, starting with, instead of using paper for these circles, the outer circles, I was going to use some mixed media. So I pulled out this stencil I just got. It is one of Vicky Bouton's stencils, and it's kind of like a honeycomb. It looks a bit like a honeycomb. So there's a lot of hexagons and things inside this stencil. And so I just kind of did like a little circular pattern of these hexagons, as you can see right there. And that's like my top circle area. And I'm going to do the same thing down here on the bottom, just using some of this molding paste that I've had in my stash for a while. And as you can see, I need to get some more because it is almost gone. So this was my idea, was to create 2 areas that would kind of mimic those circles that Gloria put into the sketch. And but I wanted to do it with some mixed media. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I'm just about done with this part. And then off camera, I am going to use my heat gun a bit to dry this off so that I can get going with the rest of the mixed media to create kind of what I had in my head, which was 2 big areas of color sort of in a circular pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm using some Shimmers paints. This is their color Can't Elope. I just held up the cover there so that you could see. This is a very light orange color, kind of an orangey yellow color, just like a cantaloupe would be, but I think a little bit lighter than even that. And I'm just kind of putting this in like just small areas on these sections of mixed media here where I put the molding paste. I start off with just a little bit. I have to keep wetting it because for some reason they don't want to stay wet. This is the second one. I'm going in with oranges and greens. So this one is called Emerald City. It's also from Shimmers. This is like a dark forest green type color. It's a really pretty. I like it quite a bit. Often I use a little bit brighter green, but this collection called for a little more muted, darker green. So I went ahead with the Emerald City color here. And just like with the Cantaloupe, I went ahead and just kind of put it in patches around. This green is called Green Acres, and it's kind of like a swampy brownish green color. And the reason I did that is because we do have some browns in this collection. And I kind of wanted to not go all the way brown, but have just that little bit of green in there. So this color was really perfect to kind of pull out of both the green and the browns in the collection. So I'm just dabbing the paint on here, kind of going in between the little hexagons that were created by the stencil, and see how I'm just making it kind of almost like an ink spill here on the page. I don't want any crisp lines whatsoever. I don't want to stay just only within the stencil work that I did, but I want to kind of go outside of the lines and just kind of make this like messy splotches on the page. With the Cantaloupe orange color, I am going up into the Green Acres and the Emerald City color a bit, and it's giving me this like gold vibe, which I really like in the end. And I think it looks really cool and goes very, very nicely with the papers from the collection. As you can see, I picked one of the plainer papers in the collection, which is like a ledger sheet, to showcase this because I didn't want the papers to take away from the mixed media and everything else that's going to go into creating this layout. So I'm just finishing up here, getting a little bit more of that Emerald City on there, the darker color on both the top and the bottom. I'm running out of water here. See how it gets so much darker when you start to run out of water? If you don't like that, you can always add more water, which I will here in a second, just because I don't actually have enough to finish. But I don't mind the really dark green in that area. I actually think it looks pretty neat. And I love how the orange is kind of going in between all of those green colors. And it's not really getting super brown, which I was a little nervous that it was going to get muddy, but I really didn't mind the colors and how they went together at all. So now I'm going to take the Cantaloupe, the orange, and the Emerald City green, and I'm going to just do some splatters. I did not do the splatters with Green Acres because I did not want the brownish. I only wanted a teeny tiny bit of the brownish color. And I wanted more of the green and the orange, just because those are such prominent colors in the collection, and I wanted to bring those out just a little bit more. So I'm just finishing up here. 49 and Market does have a very nice weight of paper. It's so much thicker than many other collection designs, but it does still warp the paper. I'm just gonna be real with you there that it does, but I don't notice it much because I put so much on top of it that I kind of weight it down, so I'm not minding. So this piece of paper came from the collection as well. It looks like a blackboard, and it does have some little designs here and there, but I really wanted it to mat my photos, and I do mat them together in a line like this. I didn't want them to come apart. I just wanted them straight in the middle, almost like it would be one large photo instead of two smaller photos. So these photos were taken at graduation this year. I am a teacher, and I taught both 11th and 12th grade this year, and this was my first time ever teaching seniors. And so this was a very special class for me, which I'm going to write about in my journaling in a little bit. But this class I taught as freshmen. And then, of course, this year was my first year teaching seniors. And so it was my first time ever having taught a group of students as freshmen and then again as seniors. So it was very bittersweet. It was really, really nice to see them from the beginning and then see them at the end and be able to be at graduation with them. So it was a really special night. So I wanted to put it in on a page to celebrate the fact that I got to be a part of these kids' journey twice. And I got to see them, like I said, at the beginning and at the end of that journey. And it was just a great experience. So I wanted to document it in my scrapbook. So here I am. So I stuck the photos, which I matted on that black sheet of paper, onto a frame that came in the ephemera kit. And now I am putting all of that on top of this kind of polka dotted circle paper that has all the colors of the collection in it. And yes, I did leave that side longer purposefully to tear it, because in the sketch, it does show that one side looks like it's torn a little bit, and I liked that element, so I wanted to make sure I brought that in. And then these bookcases are on the back side of the black chalkboard paper, and I'm an English teacher, so I thought that was very appropriate to use some of these bookshelves. So I'm going to put all of that on top of the bookshelf paper and have that be my back layer. So this is where I really start to skew away from the sketch. I am not a fan of circular elements. Like, I'm not a fan of like cutting circular pictures or having like big circles on my background. So I went away from that. It's just not my thing. And every time I have done it, I ended up not really caring for it. So I decided I wanted to keep these photos in a square. And so I went ahead and did that. And everyone should feel free to do that with a sketch. You know, they can give us ideas to go off from, but if there's a certain element that we're just not a fan of, or if it doesn't really match our style, that's okay. We can change things up and we can do things however we want to do them to make sure that they are our own and they fit with our own personal style. So this is basically what it's going to look like. I have the two elements on the side that represent the two circles, and then the middle circle I turned into a square. And I like that it is really showcasing that center portion of the layout with the photos on it because, you know, that is the star of the show. So here I took that strip out of the laser cut elements, and it came as one piece. So I cut it in half as you saw me do there. And then I layered the part that looks like, you know, a torn paper edge on top of the green. And just to kind of make it stand out a little bit there because it would have just blended into the back of my background paper if I'd have just left it be the torn edge. So I wanted it to stand out. Here, this is a cute little piece from the ephemera. It has like a little clippy on the bottom. It says "Too Cool for School" because, you know, they're graduating. And then that tab there says this is just the beginning. And I thought those are very appropriate. And here's a couple more that look like they are just a little clip. And I'm just going to stick them along the sides here just for some added interest. I am going to put that hexagon there. I will just come back and I will put them like that. But I will show you closer toward the end when I actually get those put on. So as you can see here, when I put my center square on there, I am going to cover up most of my mixed media. And isn't that always the way? We spend a lot of time on our mixed media and then we basically cover it all up. So I am just warning you now that most of that mixed media is going to be covered up. But it is visible back there. And I do like what it adds to the layout once it is finished. So I don't mind so much that it got covered up. I do kind of wish a little more of it was showing than is, but oh well, it's not. So this fabric here, or these like little pieces, I actually got these from my daughter-in-law and my son and my daughter-in-law for Mother's Day. And she gave me a big bag of these, like, I don't even know what you would call them. I want to say ribbon, but we all know they're not ribbon. So anyways, she gave me a big bag of these, and this is my first time using them, and aren't they just super cool? I have all different kinds of designs and things. I was going to put it down toward the bottom, but then I thought, now let's just center everything over those two spots there so that we stay more within, you know, what the sketch showed us. So I'm going to just put this up on foam, the center piece, just so that it's kind of up above everything else. And this actually helps to, like I said, flatten the paper underneath that kind of got all warped and things from all of the water and the mixed media put on the background. So sorry for the couple of cuts there. I was trying to show you things, but I didn't want to show you all of the putting little dimensional pieces and everything on there because that gets kind of tedious and annoying to watch and boring to watch. So I didn't want you to have to watch all that. So I kept cutting it. I'm just going ahead. I'm putting some regular double-sided tape and then some wet glue to help keep it there once it dries. And I'm going to just center that mostly on the page, keeping sure to leave some room on the top and the bottom for my title. So my title is going to be a two-part. Y'all probably saw me holding up that congrats right there. So that is going to go up on the top right about there. And then on the bottom, I have something spelled out already. It says Class of 2024. So my title will be Congrats Class of 2024. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I will come back to glue it later, which I do off camera so you don't have to watch. And that's about where that is going to go. Here's the end after I've glued it all down. I put that little tag up there because that is going to be my journaling spot. And I'm going to go ahead and journal right now. So like I said, this was a special class. So I went ahead and journaled about that. And I said the CBHS class of 2024 are a special bunch. They were freshmen in 2020 and dealt with all of the COVID stuff in their first year of high school. They are also the first class I had as freshmen and again as seniors. These kids overcame a lot to get to this moment and will always be memorable. So I wanted to remember this special class that I had. I'm going to go ahead and put this green strip here. It was the leftover that I'd used on the other side. And I'm only putting it there just because there was an awkward space in order to read all of my journaling. So I'm just filling it in a little bit there so it doesn't look so awkward. And then I decide to match it up on the top and I add the other tag up on the top there. So I'm kind of being pretty symmetrical which I don't normally do, but for some reason it felt right on this layout. So here are the hexagons. So the one on the bottom reads, the difference between try and triumph is a little umph. And then that black one up at the top, I am going to put right there, and it reads, dreams come a size too big so that we can grow into them. And then the other light green one below that says, you are capable and you are capable of amazing things. And then the other black one on the bottom says, your attitude determines your direction. And that, my friends, is the whole layout. I'm really, really pleased with this layout. I love how it turned out. Even though my mixed media did get hidden, I'm still really, really happy with this page. I hope you guys all saw something that you could be inspired by, and then maybe you could try yourself. And I hope that you have a nice time making your own pages. And please make sure that you look at the playlist. And I will see you all again next time. Bye.